What's up? What's up? It's your girl Tyler with the T. Happy February, y'all. Happy Black History Month. And y'all know I had to do it. Let's get into 3 love stories that changed the world. Let's get it. Let go. Born Kenneth Clark and Mamie Phipps, respectively, this trailblazing team would go on to dismantle the foundation of segregation and to show people that black people, especially black children, had the capacity to feel like anybody else. Mamie met Kenneth on the grounds of Howard University in Washington, D.C., where she initially majored in math, but was easily persuaded to his major of psychology. They went on to elope in 1937, which would still be Mamie's senior year. They both were deeply passionate and affected by the racial climate of the decade and dedicated their lives to study the impact of segregation on black children in their community. They both went on to obtain their doctorate in psychology at the University of Columbia, which was absolutely unheard of for an African American at the time, which awarded them the title of first African American male and woman to do so. Mamie's master thesis would be the foundation of their claim to fame, the doll test, which they would ask a black child to pick between a white doll and a black doll, which the child would usually pick the white doll, attributing the black doll to negative characteristics, showing the profound harm and damage that segregation was doing to the young black psyche. They used this research to argue that separate but equal schools were inherently unconstitutional by and because they placed the inferiority upon the black student. Their work will later be cited in the Brown versus the Board of Education Supreme Court decision. Not only did they do the research, they did the work. In 1945, the Clarks opened up the Northchild Center for Child Development in Harlem. It was the first child guidance center in the area, providing crucial psychological and educational services to families. Mamie died in 1983 to lung cancer at the age of 66. Kenneth would go on to the ripe age of 91, continuing his work before dying in 2005. Their life and legacy continues to be an example of how science and love could drive social change. Here's the Black love. Number 2, Amy and Marcus Garvey. Amy Garvey was a Jamaican-born journalist, activist, and the second wife of Pan-African leader Marcus Garvey. She was crucial to the Universal Negro movement, editing philosophy and opinions of Marcus Garvey and preserving his legacy after his 1940 death. The two would have 2 sons, Marcus Jr. and Julius. Though she doesn't get much notoriety today, and her name is not in the history books as much as her husband's, Amy Garvey is the reason we know who Marcus Garvey is today. Her role in the UNIA was initially serving as a secretary. She soon would become central to the organization, often advocating for stronger roles for women within the movement. She would marry Marcus Garvey on July 27, 1922 in Baltimore, following his divorce from his first wife, Amy Ashwood. After Marcus's death in 1940, Amy would go on to edit and publish his papers, including Garvey and Garvinism, in 1963, ensuring his ideas continued to influence the Black Power and the Pan-African movements. She was a noted writer and a Pan-Africanist in her own right, particularly during the 1940s and beyond, working to advance and the rights of black people worldwide. Without Amy Garvey, we would know of no Marcus Garvey or his work. Behind every strong black man, there's a strong black woman. Last but not least, let's take it into the modern age. We have Viola Davis and her man, her husband, for over 23 years. The two met on 1999's CBS City of Angels. Davis famously shares that she met Tenen just 3 weeks after praying for a man with his qualities. They married in a small ceremony with 15 guests in their condo, followed by a large ceremony in Rhode Island 3 months later. They adopted their daughter Genesis Davis, and Viola is also a stepmother to Tenen's children from a previous relationship, Shavonda and Darrell. They renewed their wedding vows in an intimate ceremony on Valentine's Day in 2016. Not only do the two make a beautiful couple, they are also that power couple. Founding Juvie Productions in 2011. The couple has produced several award-winning and critically acclaimed projects, often starring Viola herself, of course. They have co-produced The Woman King, which was beautiful, and the action thriller G2O, in which Davis plays the U.S. president. They have several upcoming productions for 2026, and JVL, their book publishing company, in 2024. Focused on marginalized authors, they also hold an expanded first look with Amazon MGM for both film and television. These two are here to change the color, the face of media altogether, and we couldn't be more proud. Here's to these 3 love stories, and here's to black love, baby. That is the end of this video. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Please share this with your friends, your family, your kids, and let them know black love is real love, and just a little bit can change the world. Thank you all so much. I have been Tyler with the T, and that is all from me. Deuces.